Crusch is a very unique individual in the election arc of ReZero. She is a very underrated but well-written side character in ReZero overall story. The thing that made her stand out as a character is her stoic and calm personality with a sense of maturity towards becoming a king. Crusch is a very stoic character in the grand scheme of things and is a voice of reason in the whale fight. Even before that section of the story takes part, in a section of the royal selection arc, we see different candidates trying to become the king. We get to see different ideological points of views on the candidate's logic on leadership and the idea of kingship. Hape uses this small portion of the arc to address the political discourse to socially address Subaru's viewpoint on corruption and different political factions. Crusch is a stoic realist who wants to help the people in her own way. Crusch can be considered a kingly leader figure like Roy Mustang from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Crusch wants to protect her country while trying to enforce her postmodernism philosophy of change, establishing a key idea of war, the people, and responsibility. She is a realist who isn't too egotistical or too idealistic. He questioned her deal with Subaru's obsession over Emilia, since Subaru tried in a misguided fashion to downplay the people and only appeal to the facts that Emilia has without understanding how flawed or critical her philosophy is. In which the first 3 chapters of the book I read on nihilism and stoicism is that any person can be a slave towards their own personal philosophy. The will of truth is there, but the wielder of the ideals doesn't understand the moral complexity of its flaws. While becoming a monster who shattered the fundamentals of moral obligation and different hypothetical perspectives, when Crusch heavily criticized Emilia while talking it about to Subaru in the series, it's not to attack him personally, but to point out the flaw of Emilia becoming the king of Lugunica. Emilia understands the political aspects of social and emotional discourse while being discriminated against by others. Due to her heritage being a half-elf, most of the citizens and politicians reject Emilia due to her previous elf, Satella, who committed the Great Calamity over 400 years ago. I won't spoil any web novel or light novel material from Arc 5 to 6 in this video, but think of it as this. Emilia has the basic understanding of what the citizens want, but lacks the spirituality of leadership. She had felt who was very optimistic and lived her entire life in the slums. She wants to become the king despite her contradiction of not becoming the king in this arc. She expressed her hidden intent and lacks of self-awareness for a couple of sentences. While having some unknown but idealistic motivations to become the ruler, while this discussion on politics is subjective and based on the political opinion and presentation, it is based on looks, will, determination via cause and effect, and it comes down to the moral stance on becoming the leader through resolve. Crusch steps up to the plate on the royal election, keeping a stoic attitude and calm mind while masking being honest to the truth and standing her position as a candidate. She embodies the stoic mind of the leader, knows the flaws and the outs of leadership, while inspiring others to become great warriors and to improve the country history of the dragon. When Crusch makes the speech about the dragon's history, she is referring to the old and new generation of warriors and citizens to become their own leaders and revolutionize the entire people who need a king. When Subaru joined the portion of the arc and had contributions to the whale fight, despite him viewing Emilia as the king, Crusch heavily criticized him and pointed out the hypothetical flaw in his ideology of his point of view. Crusch can understand Subaru's wrath while pointing out this hypocritical flaw of what he lacks standing by Emilia. When Crusch refers to Subaru trying to stop a greater evil like the witch's cult, he is stooping to the level of the same corrupt action he hates while selfishly seeing Emilia as a god. Crusch is a direct foil to Subaru's moral viewpoint, and even if he tried to save Emilia, what would he gain from it as a leader in a community? When time comes when Subaru has finally cleared his mind and understands the deal Crusch made, it is important that sacrifice and error helps a king grow and understand the effects of the outcome while self-improving themselves. Subaru in the whale fight and interactions acted merely on plan and instinct while communicating a form of trust with their movements and action. Subaru took charge and acted as the bait while Crusch communicated and acted on tactics and skill. Subaru may idolize Emilia as the king, but started to become self-aware of the community he is fighting for while dealing with a large and political threat. Crusch has the mind, spirituality, skill, power in the eyes of a king. Subaru Ram showed a form of warrior tactics with the art of war and psychology. Crusch suddenly realizes and acknowledges Subaru's actions. That important factor is understanding your followers. Followers drove the king into obtaining leadership. Crusch followed and observed the eyes of Subaru, embracing his hidden leadership skills, while Crusch understanding no one is alone in this battle, showing bravery at the dawn of light while understanding the outside perspective of the community. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. The true test of leadership is how well you function in a crisis. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others.